Welcome back to Lunar Horizon. Today we're going to talk about the OODA Loop by the Air Force pilot Colonel John Boyd. He developed this program to make it easier for fighter pilots to identify and understand where enemy is at in your airspace. So what we're going to do is go through it real quick. We'll discuss these items and then we'll also discuss I'll give you a little story. So we have observe the problem. There's the problem. We're going to orientate ourselves directly at the problem, square up on the problem. We're going to decide on the types of outcomes, right? So that's going to be our high risk. Then we're going to discuss the likelihood of that happening to you, high likelihood or low likelihood. Then we are going to talk about the low risk side of things, low risk, and then the probability of it happening to you, or the likelihood. Then we're going to, in here, make our plan. And then we have the most important thing, act on our plan. It might be a quick, fast, split decision, or it might be just a slow, smooth, methodical decision-making process, right? So, observe. What is our problem? So here's a little story I'm going to give to you when I was with my mom and my brother. So my mom was driving us when I was about 13 to a Walmart, and we were in the Midwest. You can see the corn is up. It's almost ready to be harvest, and we're driving to Walmart through the fields, and then once we get there, it's about a 30-minute drive where we live, and we could see a storm cloud, and I'm sitting here just mind my own business, being a little kid, and I look up and I was like, "What's that cloud, Mom?" She's like, "That's a funnel cloud." Then this started her OODA Loop process. So I observed it, told my mom about it because I didn't know. She orientated herself towards it, looking up when we were at a stoplight. It started to hail on us. So when we go into decide the types of outcomes, tornadoes happen a lot in the Midwest. Tornado Valley is a reason why it's called Tornado Valley. So she was like, "All right, that's high risk. Walmart's over there. So that's a safe spot to be." Then we got the tornado sound alarms going off saying that we need to go shelter in place. And we already had a type of plan. You hear the sirens, you go indoors. You stay away from windows. You try and go to your basement. So we already had that plan in place, but we can say high risk and a high chance of happening. I put that in the middle. Depends on what the storm is, but I always took it as a high risk. My mom took it as a high risk because she was looking out for us. She really loves us. I love my mother, and tell everybody that you should love your mother too. So keep going. Then we have a low likelihood of happening, and that would be like it actually striking the Walmart. Hey, there's always a chance, is what I should say. Then lowest risk, it could just be a funnel cloud and it just goes overhead, right? But we heard the sirens go off, we had a plan. She acted on the plan. We went home, we went to the Walmart, and then we were walking around in Walmart, little like next to this like food area. And there was this big old bag of gummy worms, like 10-pound bag of gummy worms. I was so stoked about it as a kid. I was like, "Mom, can we get those?" And she was like, "Yeah." And so after alarms went off, all the systems like were down. They were only accepting cash at that time. And so my brother and I are carrying these gummy worms. He had gummy bears, I had gummy worms. We were both walking back to the cashier, paid cash, we hopped inside the car, and we started driving home. And then that is when the next thing happened. It started hailing on us. All right, cool. So my mom went through that same process again. She was looking up and trying to identify if there's any funnel clouds happening nearby. All right, let's bring up a different scenario. So let's say you're at a park, right? And you're sitting there, you're on the bench with your wife, your significant other, I should say, and you're just sitting there chilling out. You're watching all the kids play, right? And then you hear something in the air, and that's a helicopter flying overhead. And it's like, shelter in place, there's a guy on the run, X person, X height, wearing X clothes, and they're running in the area. You can hear the sirens going by. So you're like, hey kids, let's go in my car, let's go get Dairy Queen, right? So you observe, you orientate yourself, you don't know where that person's at, so the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to be focused on going to your car, right? Then you're going to decide on the types of outcomes. So you're going to be extra vigilant on where these people are. Where are the police at? Where is this man supposedly at? And you can kind of gauge using your ears, and understand where they could be at. And then you judge the type of risk. I'm assuming high risk. It's already happening to you, so you don't need to add a probability to it. And then you're going to act on your plan. Go to Dairy Queen with your kids, kind of just like mellow it out. And then when you get home, you look on the phone, check the news. Oh, they caught him. Awesome. Other than that, I hope this helps.